Episode 6 of The Last of Us is on the horizon, and it's safe to say that it's looking like it's going to be an emotional one. With Joel setting off to find his brother Tommy at Jackson County, we're going to see a reunion of brothers that may not be the smoothest of them all, but we're also going to see Joel and Ellie have a slight change in dynamic and lines get crossed slightly when it comes to conversation. This will ultimately result in an argument between the pair, so I thought I'd break down this scene from the game and the importance of it within the show. So let's get into it. Here is why this argument in The Last of Us Episode 6 will be so emotional. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. The next episode has the potential to define Bella Ramsey's performance as Ellie. We've seen her deliver some really good performances so far, and her reaction to what occurred at the end of Episode 5 with Sam and Henry has certainly been her best. But what we have coming up in Episode 6 will really allow her to show just how good of an actor she is. We'll see Joel and Ellie make it to Jackson County, where they'll encounter Joel's brother Tommy. It's here where Joel will make it apparent that he's ready to part ways with Ellie and hand her over to his brother. This is where we'll see Ellie essentially run off to an abandoned house where Joel and his brother will look to find her. It's once Joel finds Ellie in the room upstairs that the argument will break out. We'll start by being reminded of the worries that were in the past before the cordyceps infection broke out, and we'll see that they were so pointless, such as movies, flings, and matching outfits, a life that Ellie never knew of, and one that she could only wish for. The argument that Joel and Ellie will have will lean in on their two biggest unspoken things, Ellie's fear of being alone, and Joel's memory of his daughter Sarah. Joel essentially wants to leave Ellie with Tommy as he feels as though his job is done, and that he completed the request that he promised to Tess, to deliver Ellie. This will see him going back to the mentality of viewing her as an asset, something that Joel actually lost in the past few episodes as he saw more of a human side to her. In this argument that's going to break out, we'll see Joel take the stance and position of a father in telling Ellie off for running away, and not realizing the value of her life and the power that she holds in being able to provide a cure for civilization. In this moment, Ellie speaks to Joel and addresses what she's felt inside of her mind the whole time. And that is that she felt like he wanted to get rid of her the entire time that they'd been together. Joel will respond by giving a reason that Tommy knows this area better than anybody, not answering her question in the slightest as he probably doesn't want to hurt her feelings. In this scene, we'll really see Ellie's fear of being alone coming out, and the anger, rage, upset, and almost heartbreak that she's going to be experiencing. Ellie will go on to say how she can take care of herself, but Joel, in adopting the father figure type role without even really meaning to, will go on to mention how many close calls they've had, and that he trusts Tommy more than he trusts himself. All of this will be building up in pace, dynamic range, and volume, showing that the heat is rising and the emotions are at boiling point. After this, we'll then get the tone change and the deeper subject matter, where Ellie will most likely bring up Sarah. The first time we'll have heard her mentioned since the first episode of the show. We know that Joel still feels the pain of losing his daughter 20 years ago, and it's something that nobody ever mentions to him. Hence where the infamous line from the game, "You're treading on some mighty thin ice here," will hopefully be spoken. Ellie will draw up a comparison between herself and Sarah and say how she's also lost a lot of people in her life too, leaning into her biggest fear and insecurity, and that's being left alone. Everybody that Ellie has ever known in her life has either died or left her, except for Joel, a moment that I think is going to hit so hard when we see this delivered on screen. The follow-up line that Ellie will say of "Don't tell me that I'll be safer with someone else, because the truth is I would just be more scared," is going to be a line that will be so powerful. Joel's response will be that of a relatively cold one, and he'll say, "You're not my daughter, and I sure as hell ain't your dad, and we're going our separate ways." This argument is going to be such a poignant moment in the show. We'll see the pair saying things that they've kept to themselves for the whole 5 episodes. Ellie's true fear, Joel's buried grief, and also the truth that Joel never planned on staying with Ellie and how he always viewed her as an asset that needed to be delivered is going to come out. Bella and Pedro are two actors who I think can do this scene justice, and I can't wait to see how it's going to unfold in the show. So, there you have it. Why this argument in The Last of Us Episode 6 will be so emotional. If you want to see more videos such as endings explained, theories and predictions, and character breakdowns, then click on the I button, or alternatively you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you'd like to give me a show or movie that you'd like me to review, then head over to my Twitter, @BrainPilot_. and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the latest movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.